Hello, how are you? Do you like incenses? Yes, me too. In this video I'm going to present you my 7 favorite aromatic resins or natural incenses or incenses in stones. You can call it in many different ways. And besides showing you these 7 favorite ones I have, I'm also going to give you some tips on how to burn them and best practices for each one of them, because although it seems to be normal and easy, each one of them has some differences and it's worth knowing before start burning. Let's see. Aromatic resins or natural incenses or stone incenses or incenses in stone, whatever you call it, they are resins which come from nature. Usually they come from trees. When these trees have some kind of wound, they will produce this resin to heal the wound and prevent it from getting more serious. And when this resin gets in touch with the air, it solidifies. That's when we have this kind of aromatic resin to burn and feel its properties. So when it's extracted in a sustainable way, we can perfectly have it without damaging nature. For burning aromatic resins, you are going to need the one you like, because there are billions of options, vegetal charcoal, and a safe place to burn. In this video here, I taught you how to burn them and how to burn also herbs and even Palo Santo using this technique of the charcoal. If you don't know how to, if you are new to this, please watch that video first and then come here to see my favorite ones. But anyway, let's focus now in this place to burn. I've always used this clay incense burner you see in that video, but for this video specifically, as I wanted to burn 7 different ones at the same time to show you how they behave together, I decided to use a clay tray that I was given as a gift from my friend Regina, and I placed all the 7 together there, but I put the clay over a wooden table without any protection. So don't do this, okay? So the 7 resins I'm going to show you are Breuzinho, Rosin, Pine, White Copal from Mexico, Mastic, Frankincense, and Storax. All the 7 burning together lasted around 20 minutes, but some of them, as you are going to see in the video, they stop burning very quickly. So it's necessary in some cases to rearrange them, to put some bit more, to remove and put more again, and to keep an eye on them. And others, we can simply put one piece of it and it's going to burn for a long time. So the first one is Breuzinho, this one here. Breuzinho is an aromatic resin from the Amazon, Brazil, and also in some other countries in South America, of course. I didn't find any English name for it. And it's one of my favorite ones. The smell is very light, it's very refreshing, and it can also be used to repel mosquitoes and other demons. It's very easy to identify the Breuzinho one because it comes like this, like a stone, a very solid stone. And when you scratch it with your fingers, you will see it gets some dusty, but it's normal. And there is another way we find it without being 100% solid. So in this state, it looks like some kind of food that you can tear apart and see some of its veins. But anyway, if you burn the 100% solid one or the other one, the smell and the effects are the same. Breuzinho has a refreshing aroma, It cleans and purifies the environment. It's used by indigenous people in rituals for purifying people and objects. It calms down and relaxes. As you can see in the video, it lasts for almost the 20 minutes alone, just one piece of Breuzinho. So it's really nice. Number 2 is Rosin. Rosin is this yellow stone here. It's very beautiful and it's very easy to identify. So it looks like a citrine. Of course, nobody's going to mistake it for a citrine. But if you do, the rosin is very light while the citrine has some kind of weight. So this is some kind of aromatic citrine. And the smell of rosin is very refreshing too, just like the Breuzinho one. But there's a huge difference because while this one can be used for purifying too, for cleaning the environment, also for repelling mosquitoes and other demons, the crucial difference between this one and Breuzinho is that this one energizes. It gives you a lot of energy to move, to do things, to make things happen. Para ter energia, para seguir em frente, para fazer coisas. Breu branco. So this one is for the beginning of the day, and this one is for the end of the day. Another feature of rosin is that it's used for repairing electronic components. You can melt it and use to fix some damaged parts. And these properties we also observe when we burn it as an aromatic incense, because this rosin is going to melt and seal the charcoal. So when this happens, you cannot use the charcoal again. It's impossible to light it up again, so you lose the charcoal. That's why my tip is, if you're going to burn a lot of rosin, perfect. Just light your charcoal and keep changing. Whenever the first rosin ends, put more while it's hot. So you can take advantage for a long time. If you're going to burn just a little bit, break the charcoal in a half or in a quarter so you don't lose the whole charcoal for just a small piece of rosin. Number 3 is pine. Pine is very light too, just like rosin, and it looks like a stone, a gemstone, but it's a little bit darker, a little bit reddish or orange. And the smell is also very refreshing and energizing. So different from the first one, which is to calm down, this is also for energizing, for making decisions, for changing things, for starting things. So a nice one to start the day. Pine smell is very common, I think everybody's familiar with it. But burning this aromatic resin, the smell is much stronger. It's nice, it's pleasant, but it's really stronger. So I don't recommend to burn this in a closed environment. It's nice to have an open window, an open door. Of course, nobody's going to burn resins with everything closed, but just for you to be sure before burning this one. So it purifies, it cleans the environment, it gives you energy, it repels the mosquitoes and enemies, and it gives you courage to face challenges, to change things. Just an observation, just like rosin, this one here is also going to seal the charcoal, so use it, keep an eye on it, or break the charcoal so you don't lose the whole charcoal for just a small bit of pine. Number 4 is the white copal from Mexico, and this is my favorite one. I don't know how I can explain why it's my favorite one. It simply is. Since the first time I burnt it, it's exactly what I imagined for an aromatic resin. So if I were able to create one, this will be the one. The white copal from Mexico can be used to purify the environment too, for cleaning, for banishing things, and also for breaking spells, for breaking hexes, and for attracting luck, prosperity, and abundance. An observation about this, I don't know for you, but for me as I am in Brazil, the price of this resin is a little bit expensive. So if we balance by price, I can buy a lot of Breuzinho because it's Brazilian, but I can also buy a lot of Rosin, a lot of Frankincense, and just a little bit of this one. I don't know why this happens, and I hope for you, you won't have this problem. You can buy a lot of white copal from Mexico too. The thing is, when you put just a little bit of white copal from Mexico, you will get a lot of smoke and a lot of good smell. What I like to do when I rarely burn it, because it's expensive, I put inside the bookshelf. So I open it, I place my small cauldron with sand and the charcoal, place my white copal from Mexico, close the doors, and wait a bit. When I open it again, I feel the smell, I feel the smoke, and all my books keep smelling like it. Frankincense. Frankincense is a traditional one. It's known for thousands and thousands of years and is one of the most popular ones in the world. I'm talking about frankincense because I really like it. I really appreciate it. As you can see in my list, some of the most popular ones like Myrrh or Sandalwood are missing. Because of this, they are very popular, they are well known, but it was impossible to put frankincense out from this list. So the thing about frankincense is that you find it like this, in tiers, small pieces. So you have to keep looking at it, you have to keep putting more and more all the time, because if you put just a bit of it, of course they're going to burn very fast, and the charcoal will keep their burning without anything anymore. So it's nice when you're going to use frankincense to be close to it, so you can keep putting more and more. And why using the frankincense? Frankincense is known traditionally for achieving a state of meditation and a connection with the divine. And even in the Bible, it said that the three magic kings gave Jesus three gifts: frankincense, myrrh, and gold. All of them are perfect, but please don't burn gold on your charcoal. And another thing with frankincense is that in the Orphic hymns, we have a list of Orphic hymns dedicated to the Greek deities. And in this list, we also find the incenses or the aromatic resins that are dedicated to each one of them. And we have a huge list that receive the frankincense as an offering. Among this list, we have the following deities: Uranus, Heracles, Hermes, the Titans, Eleusinian Demeter, Dick, Themis, Ares, the Muses, Themis, Zephyrus, Apollo, Artemis, Nick, and many other deities. So the smell of this frankincense is very sweet and very pleasant. And as I said, it helps us to achieve some kind of meditative state. So it calms down. But differently from others that calms down to just relax, this one is to calm down to make us feel connected to something. So it's not for sleeping, for example. So if you're sad, if you're feeling depressed, or you're having a bad day, frankincense is the answer. And if you want to meditate, to connect with the divine, to have some kind of ritual, deep ritual, frankincense is the answer too. The next one is mastic. And mastic comes like this, in tiers. When we talk about tiers, you can really understand because they come from the wounds from trees. So it's like the tears from tears. So it's like the tears from trees. An interesting thing about mastic is that the main place where we find mastic on earth is in a Greek island called Kio and in a city called Mastic. The word masticar gave origin to the word in Portuguese mastigar, which is to chew. But please don't go chewing mastic, it's not for this. But it's also used as a food. In Turkey, it's common to make ice cream with mastic. I believe it must be delicious because mastic is fresh, is citric, and it gives us some kind of energy. So an ice cream made of mastic must be really, really nice. If you have already tried this kind of ice cream, please tell me your experience in the comments. So you can use mastic for getting energy, for purifying and cleaning, for opening the way, opening the paths, removing all the obstacles in your way and going forward with a project, with your life, with a plan, whatever it is. An important detail is that mastic is also going to seal your charcoal, so put it regularly or break the charcoal to save some charcoal. The last one is Storax. And I left Storax in the end because of two reasons. First is one that I absolutely love, but a small piece like this can make a very strong smell. Not so much smoke, but the aroma is incredibly strong. It's good? Yes, it's perfect. But what I'm trying to warn you is that just a bit of it, it's enough sometimes. You don't need to burn a lot. The second thing is that when you place the Storax on the charcoal, as you can see in the video, it burns very fast and stops burning. So you have to turn it around, or you have to remove this and put more if you wish. Don't go piling Storax over Storax because the heat won't burn the first layer, and then the second, and then continue burning. No, it will burn on the first one, and the second one will prevent the smoking from coming up. So use just a bit of Storax. Another thing about just a bit of Storax is that we use Storax for calming down, for relaxing. It has a very sweet aroma that helps us to calm down and also helps us to reach the meditative state and to connect with the divine. Just like the frankincense, Storax is known for thousands and thousands of years. A huge difference from frankincense is that Storax is also used for sexual activity, for awakening the sexual side, but if you burn a lot of Storax together, you may feel so relaxed that you are going to sleep, and a very deep sleep. That's why I'm thinking about collecting some Storax, because I don't know if you know, I live in Rio, in Brazil, and the neighbors and the districts and everything, it's absolutely crazy. People totally lost the notion that there are others around. So I have the answer now. In the Orphic hymns, we also find Storax as an offering for deities, and among the deities that receive Storax are Kronos, Zeus, Dionysus, Mies, Semele, Hermes, the Graces, the Erinyes. So that's it. If you need to calm down a little or to awaken the sexual side, Storax is the one for you. So these are my 7 favorite aromatic resins. What do you think about them? Do you like them? Do you already know some of the list or all of the list? And which one is your favorite? And do you have a favorite one which is not in the list? Please tell me everything in the comments below that I reply to all. If you have some doubts, please ask too, because I reply to all. I'm just not replying to some abusive and hateful and nonsense comments because there's no contract that can make me reply. And if you like the video, please share it with your friends, subscribe the channel, give your thumbs up, and let the goddess guide you. Thank you very much. And if you're still here, why don't you stay a little bit longer? Here you'll find a playlist with all the spells and studies I have talked about. Here you'll find a playlist with all the goddesses I have talked about. Here you can subscribe to our Telegram channel to receive some articles, updates and more. And here you can subscribe to the channel itself to be the first to receive the news here. Thank you.